just hit my rhythm, boy. This is not your tempo, boy. I just hit my rhythm, boy.
KB's changing style. So I thought of making this video a little while back around the time when I made the KB Smith and Wesson news video, and I was gonna make this video instead of that, but then the Andy Mineo news came out. So yeah, KB's new style. So as some people notice, KB used some different flows and some auto-tune, or more auto-tune than he usually does, in his latest song Smith and Wesson featuring Brasel. And I wanted to go over most of his latest projects, starting from Weight and Glory, which was his first album under Reach Records, and then we'll go through from Weight and Glory to 100, his EP, then Tomorrow We Live, and then Tempo, his single, and then Smith and Wesson now. Now we won't put too much into Smith and Wesson since it's not an officially put out track, so maybe his whole album sounds mostly like Tomorrow We Live and this was just the fun song for him, or we really don't know. I know Rapzilla made it like some free exclusive, so I'm guessing they paid a bit to get the track for that, because it is pretty popular at the moment, but it hasn't been officially released by Reach Records or KB, so we can't put too much down on the style. But I do presume that the new album will have at least one song sounding like this, because I'm guessing this won't be on the album, because he's hyping up to the album on this track. So with Weight and Glory, my favorite songs would probably be Church Clap feat. Lecrae and Go Off. I'm not too familiar with this album. I got introduced through Tomorrow We Live and then went back and listened to 100, and then obviously Tempo came out almost a year ago now, I think, or maybe even longer than that, and time flies. But with this one, it is kind of old. It's about 5 years ago. And this album, typically, it is lower quality compared to his latest stuff. Obviously, better equipment now, probably better producing as well. Compared to Tomorrow We Live, it definitely feels like a step up from Weight and Glory to Tomorrow We Live. And then there's a little bit of a one on 100. It does sound a bit busy. Definitely Go Off is a pretty busy song. But with 100, I think there was definitely a better balance. I liked most of the songs on here. My favorite songs are Doubts, Crazy, Undefeated, and Kamikaze is kind of, I do kind of like that song as well. The other ones, I don't know what's about them. 100 feat Andy Mineo is kind of bland to me, but this came out in 2014, and there's definitely more emotional kind of songs on here, like Give My All, Kamikaze, Doubts, and Crazy. It's kind of a mix between emotional and hype, kind of like Undefeated and 100, where they're pretty much all hype. And the production is definitely better on this compared to Weight and Glory. I mean, it's pretty obvious, it's newer, so the production is probably better. Definitely not as busy as Weight and Glory. Now, Tomorrow We Live came out in 2015. Extremely clear sound on it. I do like a lot of songs on this, like Rich Forever, Sideways, I Believe, I'ma Just Do It, Cruising, Calling You, Saving Me, Drowning. There's a lot of good songs on here. It's definitely more emotional than hype. I mean, there's not really many hype songs on here, mostly just Sideways and I'ma Do It, and I guess I Believe as well. Rich Forever's more chill, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I think definitely compared to his previous two projects before this, massive step up. It does make me pretty curious, because it seems like if his new album sounds more like Tempo and Smith and Wesson, more hype kind of songs, more geared towards what mainstream rap is kind of right now, it'll be interesting to see what the Reach Records fans think. I mean, obviously, probably most of them will support it, whatever he comes out with, but I do know some people see Smith as Wesson as being a bit worldly. I know I questioned that in my comments on that video. I don't know how I feel about Christian artists like using auto-tune like that. I don't really care. I mean, I guess it's just a musical way. I guess it's just because it's quite popular in mainstream rap. There's a lot of rappers who are using it like that, but it does sound catchy, I gotta admit. And then with his latest single, Tempo, it definitely it's possibly his hardest song ever. I know Undefeated sounds a bit hard, but more of like I don't know how you would describe it, like a tough kind of song, I guess. Sideways is kind of that way as well, almost like a bit of attitude to it, but it'll be super interesting, man. I don't know when KB's gonna come out with his new album or EP or whatever he comes out with. It is kind of annoying with all these Reach Records artists, since they're all on a cycle. They all come out with one person at a time, and it's always a break in between, and it does get pretty boring. Like, it's been almost 2 years since Tomorrow We Live, so it does get a bit, I don't know, tedious, I guess, waiting for Reach Records stuff. Like, it's been a while since Lecrae came out with something. I know he's come out with singles, but like a proper project. Triple E took ages. I mean, yeah, I guess just because they're on a cycle, it's like Garvey came on the scene and now he's made more stuff than like all of them combined in the last year or two. But yeah, and then with Smith and Wesson, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I think it's catchy. After listening to it quite a bit over the last week, does kind of get a bit tedious. I find that with a lot of songs, like I'll get really into it and then I'll kind of overdo it for myself. I don't know if you guys are still listening to it who first found out about the song. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts will be for KB's new album or whatever project. I have no idea when it's gonna come out. Feels like forever. We need new music in Christian hip-hop. We've gotten a bit of new news, but we need some more consistent music from these bigger ones. I know some smaller ones are coming out with new projects, but we'll have to see, man. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you guys so much for the support lately, and I'll see you guys in my next video.